Hello chess lovers, Suren here, and in this video I want to share with you a very exciting game played by the 9th world chess champion Tigran Petrosian. His opponent is Tunisian chess grandmaster Slim Bouaziz, who at the time of this game was still an international master, and the game was played in 1982 at the Las Palmas Interzonal. Petrosian opened up with d4, to which Bouaziz responded with g6. e4 bishop g7. The modern variation is on the board, where black is allowing white to occupy the center in order to target it later. c3, as Ng5 Thomas writes, white solidifies the center, and now the black bishop bites a hard rock. d6, bishop g5. Petrosian loved typical moves when his opponent had a Fianchetto bishop. c5, which is not the most popular continuation. Knight f6, h6 or knight d7 are considered to be more popular, but in the game we see c5. So black is instantly undermining white's center, but is doing it at the cost of losing the right to castle after d takes c5. d takes c5, we see the exchange of queens on d8, thus white is forcing black to move his king. Knight a3. You may say the knight on the rim is dim, but from here, the knight can both jump on c4 or in some cases on b5, a very useful square of course, and bishop h6. This bishop on g5 seems like it's creating problems for black, and black wants to get rid of it as soon as possible, but proceeding with a natural knight c6 move is better. If rook d1 check, then king e8, and if a move like knight b5, then black can always neutralize the threats by playing bishop e5 and then a6, but instead we see bishop h6 and bishop h4 by Petrosian. So still he's keeping his dark squared bishop alive, and he even puts an exclamation mark on this move, but moves like h4, knight f3 or rook d1 check are also strong continuations. In the game, Petrosian proceeded with bishop h4, bishop e6. From e6 the bishop is hitting on a2, and after rook d1 check the pawn on a2 can find itself unprotected. f3. Petrosian intends to play bishop f2 followed by g4 h4. Knight f6, bishop f2, the logical continuation of f3, knight bd7. Well, instead it was better to play knight fd7 followed by b6, a6, king c8, king b7. And the problem with knight bd7 is that black is leaving the knight on f6, and now after g4, h4 white is creating g5 threat, thus white will force black to move his knight from f6. Black will lose a precious time. h4, a6, g4, already g5 is the threat, knight e8, knight h3, knight c7. So Petrosian is putting the second knight on the rim, and this is very interesting, right? Like he's breaking all the unwritten rules of chess. Knight c7, knight c4, king c8. If we take a look at the position, we can see that still white rooks are on their initial squares. Petrosian hasn't crossed the fourth rank, at least at this point. All the white pieces are on their half, but already there are too many problems to solve in black's camp. And this is what it means Petrosian style, you know. Petrosian can maneuver in place, and the one whose position gets worse is his opponent's. A unique style which no one could copy. Knight g5, rook b8, knight e3, overprotecting the pawn on g4 and preparing f4, f5. b5, f4, already f5 is the threat. Bishop takes g5, black is deciding to get rid of the knight, but after h takes g5, white is managing to open the rook's path and target this pawn. The rook on h8 should forever guard this vulnerable pawn. Knight b6, b3. According to Stockfish, you can even go for f5 straight away, but Petrosian is first taking under control this square as well, not allowing any possible bishop c4 moves, and only then will go for f5. Only after bishop d7 we see f5, bishop c6, bishop g2 protecting the pawn, king b7, bishop g3. White is both threatening bishop e5 and also is pinning the knight on c7. f6. Black is neutralizing bishop e5 threat, but is doing it at the cost of weakening his king side further. And actually by playing bishop g3, white created another threat, and that threat was knight d5. In here Petrosian played knight d5, a powerful blow, after which black's position collapses. Knight takes d5, e takes d5, knight takes d5. Well, if bishop d7, then d6 check can follow. Black played knight takes d5, but after bishop takes b8, resigned. If rook takes b8, then rook takes h7, or if king takes b8, this time f takes g6 is winning. That's why after bishop takes b8, slim Bouaziz capitulated. Petrosian wins on move 25, and still, pay attention please, his rooks are on the initial squares. This was a very interesting positional game where Petrosian broke all the rules. I hope that you enjoyed this game and will be grateful if you can share it with your friends as well. In the end, let's also solve a chess puzzle where the task is to find the winning line for white. It's white to move, and I will wait for your answers in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Here are more suggestions for you. Feel free to check them out as well. I will see you in my next video. Take care.